Okay, today we'll be doing the paper 1 corrections, alright, and now we start with question 1A and 1B. For 1A, it's about the calculation. Okay, this one, write down the first 5 digits. If you key everything very carefully into your calculator, okay, you should get 3.4360, and if you round it off, correct to 2 decimal places, you get 3.44, and that is it. And now we just move on to 2A. 2A, the greatest possible value of x minus y. Okay, bear in mind that x and y are integers, that's why x is 4, and y, in this case, you choose negative 3. Why we don't take 0 and we take negative 3 is because negative and negative gives you positive, 4 plus 3 gives you 7. And the least possible of x, y square. In this case, right, if you choose any other value, okay, of y, alright, other than 0, you can get a positive number, because anything that you square gives you a positive number. So in this case, for xy square, you can take any value of x that you want. So x can be 2, 3, 4, you can make it 2, and y you take it as 0 square. That's why it is 2 times 0 square gives you 0. And that is it for 2b. Question 3a. Question 3a is given that v equals to 1/3 pi r square h. Find v when r equals to 15 and h is equals to 8. Leave your answer in terms of pi. I think this is a part that many of you may have left out, okay, where you say leave your answer in terms of pi. It means that we do not evaluate pi itself. So you substitute the correct values where r is 15 and h is 8. You multiply 1/3 times 15 square times 8 gives you 600. You leave the pi alone. This is 600 pi. Then lastly, 3b, they say express r in terms of v, h and pi. So what we do first is 1/3 pi r square h. Okay, let me take this step by step. First, right down here, we will multiply both sides by 3. So I get 3v equals to pi r square h. And then next thing we want is just r alone. So what I do is I divide both sides by pi h. So I get 3v over pi h is equals to r square. Lastly, you square root both sides to get r is equals to square root of 3v over pi h. And that is 3b. We move on to question 4. Question 4. The area of a triangle is 36 minus a square. One of the sides is 12 minus 2a. Find the expression in terms of a for length of the other side of the rectangle. So basically, if we know, okay, length times breadth is equals to area. So if we want the length now, is equals to the area divided by the breadth. So we get the area 36 minus a square divided by the breadth. Okay, then now if you notice, alright, 36 minus a square is 6 plus a, 6 minus a. Why? We can rewrite this as a square minus b square, which is 6 square minus a square. So it becomes 6 plus a, 6 minus a. Now if you notice, what you can do is you can eliminate 6 minus a and 6 minus a. What you're left with is 6 plus a over 2. And that is question 4. Okay, quickly we move on to question 5. They say write down the coordinates of the point A. Okay, coordinates simply we say it's negative 3, negative 2. Alright, so this one simple enough. It is negative 3, negative 2 over here. Then for 5b, they say write down the equation of the line L1. Okay, for the line L1 horizontal line, okay, straight away we know that the equation of line is y equals to 3. Something simple that we have learned in secondary 1. Then finally, on the axis below, draw a line with gradient passes through point A. Gradient of 1.5 means that the rise over run is equals to 1.5 over 1. Okay, that's what it means by gradient, or we can write it as simply simple is 3 over 2. So that means, right, the rise is 3 when the run is 2. Okay, so if I translate that into a diagram, so my rise will be equals to 3 units, my run is equals to 2 units, like this. So if you want to see how we do this, so my run will be 2 units, 1, 2, my rise will be 3 units, 1, 2, 3. I begin one more time. It passes through point A. Okay, my rise over run is 1.5. 1.5 is hard to plot, so I'll plot. I multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. My rise is 3. My run is 2. So my run is 2. My rise is 3. I get this point here. Then all that is left to do is simply to connect the 2 points. Then when you connect the 2 points, what you get is this. Okay, and that is the line with gradient 1.5 and passes through point A. And that concludes 5C. Now we move on to question 6. Question 6 is given that A plus B equals to 8 and AB equals to 15. Find the value of A plus B square. Okay, so A plus B square simply is A plus B square. And we know that the value of A plus B is 8. So all we need is 8 square. Hence we get 64 there. 6B. Find the value of A square plus B square. So we start with A plus B square equals to A square plus 2AB plus B square. Then if we rearrange the equation, okay, so I am minusing 2AB from both sides of the equation. That's why what I get from here is this: A plus B square minus 2AB is equals to A square plus B square. Voila! You notice A plus B square is what we want. So now all you do is fill in this value, A plus B square, which we have found in the previous part. A is 64, and AB, we know from the question, AB is equals to 15. Is equals to A square plus B square. So finally, if you compute everything, A square plus B square is equals to 34. And that is question 6 for you. Now we move on to question 7. Okay, question 7. Question 7 is about mass. Okay, Dion is X kg, Ethan is 2 kg, Samuel is 1.5 times heavy as Ethan for the total mass. Okay, first, right, what we get is Dion's mass. Okay, let's just work on this step by step. First, Dion's mass is X kg, that one is settled. Ethan is 2 kg heavier than Dion, so Ethan is X plus 2 kg. Samuel is 1.5 times as heavy as Ethan, so it's 1.5 times X plus 2. So if we simplify this, we get 1.5x plus 3. Okay, so x plus 2, 1.5x plus 3. We just have to submit everything. Okay, x plus 2 plus 1.5 times x plus 2. If everything you add up, right, you get 3.5x plus 5. 7b. Hence, write down an inequality if the total mass is not more than 180 kg. So we take this 3.5x plus 5 is not more. Not more means that it can still be equals to 180 kg. That's why it's 3.5x plus 5 is lesser than or equals to 180. You must have this lesser than or equals to 180 because it can be 180 itself. Lastly, we attempt for 7c to solve this inequality. We minus 5 from both sides. I get 175. Then you divide both sides by 3.5. We'll get x is lesser than or equals to 50. Hence, the largest possible mass of Dion is 50 kilograms. And that is question 7. Now we move on to question 8. Okay, question 8. 720 is a product of its prime factors depending on whatever method you want to use. Okay, I can show you the ladder method. This is 2, 360, 2, 180, 2, we get 90, 2, 45, 3, we get 15, 3, we get 5, 5, and finally we get 1. That's why it's 2 to the power of 4, 3 square times 5. This is 720 expressed as the product of its prime factors. Next one, find the highest common factor of 105 and 720. By the same method, okay, we will express 105 as its product of its prime factors. Highest common factor, okay, there's no common factor in 2. 3 is a common factor. 5 is common factor. Hence, the highest common factor is 3 by 5. Highest common factor is 15. Okay, now we move on to 8C. 8C, they say that the lowest common multiple. Okay, basically it's a question about lowest common multiple, sorry. So red beads are sold in packets of 720, white beads are sold in packs of 105. So basically it's 720, 105. Okay, Lin buys the same number of red beads as the white beads. Find the least number of packets. So same number means we see the lowest common multiple in this case. So the lowest common multiple, 2 to the power of 4. Okay, 3 we take the highest one is 3 square, 5. Okay, and the single 7. That's the lowest common multiple. Lowest common multiple will be 5040. And finally, they say we want to find the number of packs of red beads. We take 5040, we divide by 720. Because if you bought 5040 beads, okay, you divide it by the 720, which is a number in each pack, okay, you'll find that you get 7 packs of red beads. Okay, now we shall move on to question 9. Question 9. Find angle ACE. Okay, angle ACE, let's take a look here. The angle in question, angle ACE, is this one. So if you notice, this is an equilateral triangle. So this is 60, 60, and 60. And if you notice, these two lines are parallel. So by alternate angles, okay, this angle is 60 degrees as well. Hence, angle ACE is equals to 60 degrees because it's equal to this angle, alternate angles, due to these two parallel lines. Next, we want to find angle ADF, which is this angle over here. Okay, now what do we do down here? Just give me one moment. Let me pull up the working. Okay, here we have the working. Angle ECD is equals to 60 degrees, okay, because of corresponding angles. So basically, this is 60 degrees here. Okay, these two lines are parallel, so this is 60 degrees as well. So in the end, what we get is this angle here is also 60 degrees. Next, we find angle ADC. Okay, which is this angle over here. Notice that these two lines are equal, making triangle ACD an isosceles triangle. So if it's isosceles, means that these two angles are equal. You take 180 minus 120. Then you divide by 2. You find that this is 30 degrees. This is 30 degrees. Okay. And finally, angle ADF is 180 minus 30. This would be 150 degrees. So if you notice, okay, the working is all down here. Whatever I explained just now for question 9, the working is there. And finally, they ask you, what is the name of triangle ABD? It's a right angled triangle, because if you notice, angle DAB, okay, angle DAB is equals to 30 degrees plus 60 degrees is equals to 90 degrees. Hence, it is a right angled triangle. Okay, now we go and look at question 10. Question 10a, expand and simplify. Okay, this is the working, but I'll do 10a for you. 3x minus 4 square minus 7x. A minus b square is a square minus 2ab, okay, plus b, a square minus 2ab plus b square, and don't forget this negative 7x. You simplify everything. Negative 24x minus 7x is negative 31x plus 16, and that is question 10a. Now question 10b. 10b, we just split it up. Okay, 2x times 3x plus 2 minus 1 times 3x plus 2. Okay, then you just expand 6x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 2. Simplification gives you 6x squared plus x minus 2.